Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sanji, and in this video I'm going to run through the 3 different ways that you can invest in precious metals. So I thought of doing this video because one of you actually asked specifically for this in one of the YouTube comments, and this is why I always encourage you, make sure you're asking questions in the comments. I might not be able to get to everyone immediately, but eventually I do videos, especially if I think it's something that people will be interested in. And here Harry P said, "Hi Sanji, thanks for the video. Great intro. Would you consider making a video covering how to invest in precious metals such as gold and silver, as well as American stocks using CommSec?" Now Harry, for the second part of your question around American stocks using CommSec, I can tell you now I don't use CommSec to do that. I don't actually invest directly internationally. I just use ETFs to do that. So I can't help you there, Harry. But for the first part of this question, that's pretty straightforward. Gold and silver, definitely. That's what this video is going to be about. 3 different ways you can invest in precious metals. So let's get into it. So the first way you can invest in precious metals is literally by buying the precious metal. So you can buy gold, you can buy silver directly. Now there's various places, some of them are a bit dodgy. One thing I would say I'd encourage you to look at is the Perth Mint. I'll throw up on the website. You can actually go to the Perth Mint website and buy specific gold bars or gold coins or gold little things and sell them back to the Perth Mint, and they have various ways that you can buy and sell them. You can buy it directly and get it physically, or you can buy it and keep it in storage with them. Quite a few different areas. I haven't got any experience in doing this, but I do know this is an option. So one of the things that you have to consider when you buy gold is you have to store it. First you have to store it somewhere safe. It's weird, you're going to be holding a gold bar in your house. It's worth, $20, $30, $40, $50,000. It's quite a lot to going on there. But you then do need to find also a way, other than storing it, is also to sell it. Because at some point you're going to want to realize this value, right? So you have to be able to go back. I think you can go back to the Perth Mint and sell it back to them at a different price. They do have spreads though between buying and selling, so you want to wait a while to see some kind of price appreciation before you go and sell. Otherwise, you might have to consider selling it to someone else, which other than the Perth Mint, which might get a bit tricky because it's not like there are people on Gumtree buying gold bars. Actually, let me check that. Are there actually people on Gumtree buying and selling gold bars? Here we go. Gumtree, I'm looking for gold bars. Gold bars, not bras. What do we have? Oh, Perth Mint. So you can buy somehow directly from the Perth Mint. Oh no, this person's actually selling a Perth Mint product. Pure silver from some organization based in Port Melbourne. What else we got? 1 ounce gold bar, okay. 1 ounce gold bar from the Perth Mint. 1 ounce gold bar with a different price, but it's a rare vintage. So here's the thing, when you're buying gold, if it's the same weight, it should technically be the same price, but here, they're both 1 ounce, but one of them is meant to be the rare vintage version, where the swan is facing to the left, and it's got a different pricing. So it gets a bit confusing, but yeah, you can see Perth Mint 1 gram gold bars. So there you go, I stand corrected. You can actually buy and sell gold bars on Gumtree, but I'm still a bit wary, because if you're the kind of person who's buying and selling gold bars on Gumtree, I mean, you're going to make sure it's authentic. You can get some good looking fake stuff. You also want to be pretty safe, because if they know you're interested in holding or buying gold, they might attack you. Just be careful, that's all I'm saying. So if buying gold directly is not your kind of cup of tea, and I'll tell you what, it's not my cup of tea, the other way you can do it is you can buy gold mining companies. So this is where people are essentially saying you can buy gold mining companies as a bit of a proxy for owning gold as a product. Because for the gold mining company, the biggest driver on revenue is actually the gold price and also their gold production. But if you assume their gold production is pretty steady, then the main reason why the value of the gold mining company's share price goes up and down is because of the fluctuation of the gold price. Now here, there's a few different gold mining companies out there in Australia. I mean, we're Australia, we have lots of gold mining companies. The trick here though is to buy companies that are actually operating. So not mining companies that are exploring for gold, but mining companies that have actually explored for the gold, found the gold, and now they're actually processing gold and they're then selling the gold. The one I actually do use is Newcrest. This is not a stock tip, I'm just saying this is the one I use to get my gold exposure, which is Newcrest NCM. But another one you can use is St. Barbara, Evolution Mining. There's quite a few out there. So the idea here is by owning shares in a gold mining company, you're indirectly holding gold because you have ownership of the company. And any appreciation in the gold price is translated both in the form of dividends or in the form of the appreciation of the actual share price for the gold miner. Now, a couple of things to consider are, is the company actually producing gold, or is it just an exploration company? Always differentiate between the two. The lean or the preference should be towards ones that are actually producing gold, not just exploration companies. So the other thing to consider is if there's actually quite a lot of costs associated with running a gold mine or any kind of mine realistically. So just because it's making a lot of profit purely because the gold price is going up, it might also have to use that money to finding the next gold mine or trying to develop the current gold mine even further. They need to go deeper into the mine pit. Some of the other things are maybe there might be an issue with the gold mine with the operating plant and have to invest in getting a better concentrator or getting a better gold room, or all these kind of things you'll have to figure out and consider. Okay, just because this is a gold mining company, am I going to get a reflection of the gold price directly? There's a few things that your money may end up going into rather than paying you out in dividends. So to understand that, it's probably worth looking at the company, looking at some of the dividend payout details, and get a bit more information around how does this company translate the gold price and its revenue from gold into dividends to me, or capital growth in terms of the share price. A couple of things to consider. Now, another way to invest is by buying ETFs that actually track the gold price. So 3 options to consider here are gold, PM Gold, which is actually the Perth Mint's Gold ETF, and QAU, which is actually a hedged option, which is good to consider if you want to manage against currency fluctuations, if that's something you're concerned about. So there's a few things to consider, like the fees, what's the ownership structure, is it currency hedged, all of those things to consider when you're looking at these different ETFs, and I recommend you do a bit of a side-by-side comparison. If you're not sure what I mean by that, check out some of my other videos where I go into ETFs and I do up like a quick table where I say, this is the key details that we need to know, what's the comparison there. Now, Harry, specifically for you and for anyone else who is using CommSec, don't forget you can use the CommSec ETF screener, which I've mentioned in a few other videos, but it's basically where you can jump on the ETF screener, you can pick commodities, you click filter, and it gives you a list of all the commodity tracking ETFs. Now, if you've actually watched this far, let me just show you a quick comparison, which I was actually interested in sharing, against buying gold ETFs with buying gold mining companies, because I thought that would actually be interesting to just see what does it track like. And I'll throw up this graph here where I actually looked at it using Yahoo Finance, which I'm always a big advocate of. Yahoo Finance, and I throw up gold, which is the actual ETF, which should be a pretty close reflection of the actual gold price, NCM, which is Newcrest Mining, and EVN, which is Evolution Mining. And I thought, how are these actually comparing? So the blue line is gold, which actually shows you over the last 5 years, gold compared to Newcrest and Evolution Mining has actually underperformed, which is interesting because what this is actually saying is the product that these mining companies is actually selling has underperformed the performance of the actual mining company. So the perception of the mining company has been better or has performed well compared to the actual gold product itself. But if you translate down to year to date, so just in the year of 2020, it's a bit different again. So you've got the gold price has actually gone up 15%, or the gold ETF has gone up 15%, whereas Newcrest and Evolution have kind of performed mixed ways. So Newcrest has gone down about 10% and Evolution has appreciated 31%. Again, just noting this doesn't include dividends. So if either of these ETFs or the actual gold miners paid dividends, that's not being captured in this graph. But it's something to consider around, should you buy the product or should you buy the company that is selling the product? Anyway, if you guys are interested in any of my other videos around ETFs, make sure you check them out here. I've got ones on investing specifically in Europe or investing in Asia down here. And if you want to check out one of my other videos which YouTube is recommending to you, check out the link over here. And I'll see you in the next video.